Ha 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 ha! Did it? Yeah,
You
come
did
on.
it. You did it. Oh,
I saw your face. I'm like, and then I was like, okay, I'm really there, guys. I should have started talking because
yeah. No, that's what you should have done. I was about
I know,
to
but then I was like, I was standing there. I'm going, wait, how should I approach this? It didn't work. Ha ha. Yeah, if you guys watch the episode, you understand what that whole thing was about. It's about invisibility, and we don't have it. We didn't wear our invisible suits. We are here after having a weekend off. What's going on, Scott? How you doing?
Second beer.
Yeah,
I told that story before we started. So
we of course talked beforehand. So cheers. Scott had quite a well. I mean, he had a good day, but then there was a little rough patch right there when it came to baby Callum.
30 minutes before we started, it was like a baby crib, an Allen wrench, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Yeah, adventures began.
Adventures began, and then I was talking about how my day consisted of just cleaning the crap out of my apartment because I
literally taking the crap out of your apartment.
Yeah, exactly, and taking yes, exactly. I mean, I didn't realize. I'm like, man, I have so many shirts and just clothing that I've accumulated over the years, and I'm like, okay, it was just one of those like keep it, nope, keep it.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things. I mean, yeah, and now it's like, all right, the ones that I was going to keep that were just kind of like put away or in a old laundry basket. Now I'm like, hey, I got to do a lot of laundry now because I'm like, I forgot about this shirt. It was one of those kind of things. So fun day. Thank you guys for joining us. Of course, Batman the Fan-imated stream, and we're going to be talking about the episode See No Evil, which
this is an underrated gem, man. I'm going to go ahead and put it out right there. This is one of those episodes that does not get talked about, and I'm like, it's almost like it's never too late. It's like I want to submit this for consideration. It's like let's remember this episode.
It's a good episode. I mean, it doesn't have like a known villain, and it's just. There's some elements in here where I'm like, some interesting elements.
This is dark.
It's a dark episode. What's going on, everybody? We got Michael. We got Accuracy. We got Mr. Fear. Jason, what's up? We got Mama Film Junkie.
Mama, yay.
How's it going, Mom? And then, of course, Eric. Good to see you, the casual Batman. Yes, we are. We try to be as casual as possible. But yes, this episode, I mean, we could just kind of dive right into it. I mean, it's one of those that, like I said, I think when we were talking last time, again, I was going, See No Evil, which one is that? And then, of course, when I started preparing the stream and then finding the title card, and then, of course, Google brings up, I'm like, oh, yeah, this episode. And then when I put it on, I went, oh, whoa.
I know. One, just look at this title card that's behind us right now.
Yeah.
Is that just not creepy as all get out? I mean,
it's got an open window with the freaking curtains blowing, and then it's got a teddy bear. Or is that? Yeah, it's a teddy bear.
It's a teddy bear, yeah.
In the light, and it just kind of resembles a kid getting kidnapped.
I know.
Yeah.
Which is just blows. I have this notes later on, but I'm going to say it. I mean, this episode is basically a custody battle.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, spoilers here. The thing's been out for 30 years, so it's okay. And thank you, Michael, for the super chat, and we appreciate it. We try to be as unique as possible. Yes, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. But I mean, that's where it kind of goes to, and we'll get to there because I mean, it starts off even creepy, and of course, like always. Shirley Walker's score.
And I have two particular areas I'm going to talk about Shirley Walker in this episode.
Yes. And then the opening, it's just the atmosphere, just the way that they lead into the episode where, of course, and it's kind of funny too, because, it's outside of the house. It's kind of a decent neighborhood, maybe not. No, maybe not.
A little rundown.
Yeah. Not like totally where you see things boarded up so much, or maybe there was. I don't know. And I didn't look too hard. But I found it funny that there was like a dog that literally looked like it barked at the camera. Right.
No, because it's a POV shot.
Oh,
like that. I mean, that's the creepy part about this episode starts. I mean,
think about that.
Yeah, the camera. I mean, you're seeing it from the Invisible Man's.
Did not even think
POV,
wow.
And it's.
I was just like, oh, that's cool. It's like panning over and like the dog just like barks at. I wrote like dog barks at camera. Did not even think about POV. Duh. When this is an Invisible Man story, man, I totally did not even think about that. Thank you, sir. And like I said, the score, you got the blowing of the leaves and all that stuff, and then we meet Kimberly, who has, well, I mean, technically, like, you know, when it comes to, I guess you could, at first when it comes to us and it comes to her mother, she has an imaginary friend.
Yes. By the way, do you know who Kimmy is?
Okay, some of these voices sounded.
Oh, there's a lot of that going on this episode.
I was like, I'm gonna save it. I'm not even gonna look because I want to. Let's discuss this because I'm sure you have them written down.
Oh,
I don't know.
You better believe I have them written down. Okay, so and the meta-ness. Oh, I'm gonna start right now with the meta-ness of this episode. Okay, you know who the voice of Kimmy is?
Who?
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth. Oh wow! Because of Invisible Man.
What the hell?
Jeez, that's crazy. That's Liz. Wow.
Yes, she's the voice of Kimmy.
That's crazy. And the fact that, you know, this is about somebody who's, you know, a little cuckoo that's wearing
an invisibility suit. I know.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, like we just went down the Matrix, man.
We did. Totally went down the Matrix right there. Whoa. And then we got, her imaginary friend is named Mojo.
Oh, yes. And do you know who the voice of that is?
I sounded familiar. Who is it?
Okay. So Ventrix, who is, of course, you know, the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
That is Michael Gross, the dad from Family Ties.
We just talked about Trimmers last night.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Oh my God. What the shit? Jesus. I was like going, okay, I heard the voice, but I'm like, no, wait. I should have just looked, but at the same time, I'm like, I knew that voice sounded familiar. Wow. So it's Michael. Wow. Look at that. Jeez.
The hits keep on coming. Because wait till we get to Mom.
That's what wow. It's star-studded cast in this one, folks.
Oh, yeah. So you want to know who Helen is?
Who is Helen?
Jean Smart.
Jean Smart. Who is Jean Smart?
Okay. Remember, classic, recent stuff. Did you watch Watchmen on HBO?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list.
The problem is for me, you say Jean Smart, and it's like you have to look her up. I mean, she's a really well. Actually, I'm trying to think of other roles that I can say.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know exactly who that is. I'm trying to remember like which I know. As soon as I saw her face, I went, oh yeah, but I can't remember anything she's in.
She's been in so much. And that's the thing.
I guess she was in like some Frasier episodes.
Oh yes, absolutely.
She was in Designing Women, right? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Designing Women. There you go. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Jean Smart. There it is.
Yeah, because she played Lori in the HBO Watchmen series.
Yes, there you go. And then somebody said that she played the original Silk Spectre.
Well, no, that's who she plays the retired Silk Spectre in
the series. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in the HBO series, yes.
Cool. Man, star-studded cast, man, I tell you.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
And that doesn't even get to later on when we get our very first appearance of a very important character in the universe.
Yes, I caught that, of course. But then, of course, I don't know who the voice of it is, and probably somebody. Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But yeah, I mean, one of the things I wrote is like, I actually wrote notes, creepy as fuck. Because this opening scene is so creepy because, you know, you got little Kimmy here. And she has, you know, her friend named Mojo that she's named Mojo. And he's like given, you know, obviously he's invisible, stuff like that. And things are just moving. And then he just gives her like this heart necklace kind of thing. This
with a diamond in it. And it's cool. I mean, you're like, dude, okay, you sound like a grown man. You're in a little girl's bedroom. You're giving her presents. And then she goes off and does the one thing that as an adult or kid, like even as a kid watching this, it's like, well, my mommy and I are moving soon. And you're like, dude, do not tell this guy this information. This is
because then all of a sudden, and he drops like the doll or the teddy bear.
Yeah, like the Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, the Raggedy Ann doll. Yeah. So then it's like, whoa, what is happening here? And and then of course, when she mentions that, and then the mom comes in, and then she just talks about, oh yeah, I was just talking to Mojo, and then she's like, oh yeah, Mojo, okay, whatever, we all had the imaginary friend kind of thing, and that's what they kind of like play into this, which is, again, I mean, you make like a you turn this into like another Invisible Man type movie, like without the Batman aspect. This is just it's just creepy. It's just creepy.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the weird thing is this concept works if Batman's not in this episode.
exactly. It really does. Like, I was going, man, this story would actually work standalone, not involved with Batman. Imagine if it was just like a whole story that played out, and it's just about this ex-con dad that is just wanting to spend time with his daughter, and then oh man,
but he's addictive, and
yes,
and it's like you get into that really nasty of like divorced parents that are like the nasty side of that, where it's like they're fighting, like the kid's like a prize to be won. And
yep,
I mean, this episode goes places, and it's amazing to me because this is one of those early episodes where the screenwriter, and I didn't even write down the screenwriter's name, is not a no name. Like, this is like, this was like a one-off. Like this writer wrote this episode, and it was all they ever wrote. And it's kind of sad because it's like, you did good work here. Like, this was good stuff.
It is really good work. And so then we cut to I guess, I don't know, there's like, we're at a jewelry store, and people are just kind of like
it's like it's a jeweler's convention.
Yeah, convention. There you go. It wasn't like a normal thing where it's just like you're just in a jewelry store, but there was like people. Yeah, it had that convention quality. And guess who's there? Bruce Wayne, looking at a nice gold watch for himself. And I'm like, yes, treat yourself, Bruce. Get yourself a gold, I don't know, Rolex. Maybe it was something like that, or I don't know. Who knows? But he was all about it. And then, we get to actually see Lloyd Ventress.
Yeah. Ventrix.
Ventrix.
It sounded like Ventress to me too.
Yeah.
But the credits.
Oh, okay. Put
Ventrix, Ventrix. But I heard Ventress too.
Yeah.
Because it got me confused, because if I remember correctly, one of the mobsters in Mask of the Phantasm, I thought was named something like Ventress or something like that. So I was like, is there connections? And then I saw how it was spelled in the credits, and I went, I guess not, because that's not the same thing. But I was hearing Ventress too.
Yeah, I was hearing Ventress. I think I wrote it like that with a CE at the end. Anyway, so then he of course looks around. He's got a briefcase, and he's weird looking dude because he's got bumps on his face.
What's that like? Did you think that was like acne? I always thought that was like acne.
I thought it was something like that, but then I'm kind of going like, well, we kind of find out a little something about the suit later on in the episode. That,
right? Yeah.
I'm wondering, and then his eyes, his pupils are like almost like a dark reddish brown kind of thing, right? Did you notice that?
Yeah. He doesn't look well.
He doesn't look well, which eventually you find out that the suit is toxic, and I'm kind of wondering if that's what they were trying to represent with the animation. Is like, we got to show that we can't just show like a frail dude. We're gonna kind of show him like, have some bumps on his face, and his eyes look a little strange. I think that's what they were trying to do with the animation. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's funny that he goes into the bathroom. Of course, what bathroom do you go into where you can lock you can lock the door to the entire bathroom? Like, that's not
the ones in Gotham City, of course.
Ones in Gotham City. Of course, then the guard goes to use the bathroom, and my God, the way they animate that poor guy's face, like he's dying here. It's like, who locked the bathroom?
Yeah, I know, and he gets all crazy, and then of course, so then when he comes out, he starts just stealing stuff. Like, he's not even being secret about it. He's just like, I'm invisible. No, who cares? I'm just gonna create a show for all these people. Like, literally, like Bruce Wayne, who's out to purchase a watch. The watch gets like, starts floating away, and like, everybody just starts going, what the, everybody's just creeping out. And then it's just kind of funny because Bruce then looks at that same bathroom, and what does he do? He goes to change into his suit.
Which it's always funny. Like, so you're just wearing that underneath the brown suit, like the whole time.
It's gotta be hot, man. It's gotta be hot. I mean, like, how does the cape? Jeez. I mean, the cape, I don't know. You just kind of wonder, like, how could you? That's got to be so uncomfortable. But then again,
I was thinking about it with Superman. Like Superman is the one who consistently does it.
Does that because he's always got we always know that. I know it's got to be uncomfortable at the same time though, because I have been going back down the road of Lois and Clark. And there was that episode in Lois and Clark where there was like a big heat wave happening in Metropolis and everybody's like dying except for Clark, who's like perfectly okay, not sweating. Everybody's wearing like summer clothes and tank tops and shit like that. And everybody's got a glisten and everything, but Clark is still normal. And I even posted, I was like, that's where you start going, hey, what is up with you? Even though Lois does go, what planet are you from? You know, kind of thing, that whole jokey thing. But
I don't care. Terry Hatcher. It's okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, seriously,
man.
Sunday nights on ABC.
Jeez, I was there. Appointment viewing.
Oh, you better go. It was. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's take just a small tangent to talk about the nostalgia of our childhood, where it's like we had this show every afternoon after school, and then on Sunday nights on ABC we had Lois and Clark.
That freaking theme pops, man.
Oh,
like when I put it on, I was like, man, I forgot how good this theme was. Yeah, it's just like it feels like a Superman theme. It really feels.
Well, it does the same thing that every Superman theme does. Is it says Superman in the melody.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I know, and I've been just going down that road again. I mean, it's got its cheesy moments, of course, but at the same time, you know, I mean, and regardless, what people think about Dean Cain now, and I get it, but at the same time, he was a good Superman. I thought he was.
I mean, the first season was the best season.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know,
100%.
Especially with John Shea as Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah. Oh man, he was. Yeah, just watching those scenes with him. I mean, it was funny too, because I remember like thinking about Lois and Clark and going, man, did Dean Cain really even try to like change, like when he was Clark and Superman, was he at all different? And he was. Like, he really, I thought for some reason my memory served me as maybe he didn't do that much, but when he's Superman, he's very much like, hey, I'm, you know, and he just kind of does something with his voice and everything, and then he's normal, like how he normally is as Clark. So it's kind of like a reverse thing of what Reeves did. Reeves was more like, when he was Superman, that was more of who Christopher Reeves was actually, you know, in real life. But when he was Clark, he was bumbling and blah blah blah. Well,
that's because Lois
did the reverse.
Right, well, because Lois and Clark was more the John Byrne era of post-crisis, where it was like Clark Kent was the real person, Superman was the disguise.
Yeah. I think, So they pretty much like nailed that. And to the point where I was like, yeah, I mean, I can buy that people don't know that it's, even though like throughout the series, they even go like, you know, you kind of look like Superman. I think it was that episode where everybody was falling in love with each other with that ocean. Yeah. And like Lois was all about Clark. And then she like points out, you know, you look like Superman. It was like, yeah, there it is.
Which is really funny because later on, if you know, depending on how far the Fan-imated stream goes, there's a Lois and Clark connection that we can make to the animated universe later on.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Now let's get back to this episode. That was our Lois and Clark tangent.
We need at least one an episode.
Yes,
you know?
Where we just veer off and then we come right back to it. So we're back here. We're at the jewelry convention thing. And then, of course, like I said, you know, Bruce just pops out of the bathroom, like in true fashion.
Oh, smacks the guy. It smacks the guard, by the way. I'm sorry. That dude is unconscious on the floor with a concussion from getting hit by that bathroom door.
Goddamn Batman. I mean, don't just charge out of the door like that. I mean, there might be,
No, I don't blame Batman. My parents taught me, do not stand behind a door.
That's true. But I mean, if a door is swinging outwards, you know, I mean, I get it. You have to make an entrance. You're Batman. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, just kind of swoop out or something like that. Don't just, but it is funny.
It is so hilarious. Now, what this leads into, however, except for one line that I will point out at the end of the episode, this particular episode, we've poked fun at some of the really cringy sort of one-liner joke lines.
Yeah.
This show managed to play humor in a very dark episode where the humor for me really landed, like really worked. So this is that scene where, you know, they bust out into the alley. They're pouring some fresh concrete, in the alley.
That's good.
I love because they don't have a line. The joke is playing the reaction of the construction worker
who's eating a sandwich.
Eating a sandwich, and Batman like busts out, and he's just like, "Where are you?" Da, da, da. And the guy's like,
and he's just like, I mean, imagine being this man where you're working. Okay, you're working, you're taking a lunch break. Batman in broad daylight, mind you, just shows up and is yelling at God knows what. And you're just like, what the fuck? I mean, like, that guy's going to be telling that story for the rest of his life.
Oh, and then of course, he's doing that, and he doesn't run away until the Invisible Man, like, starts like talking back, and he's just like, "What the hell? I'm out of here."
Yeah, and then he's just like, so that guy for the rest of his life is probably telling a story about Batman yelling and chasing a ghost or something like that.
Something like that. Yes, absolutely.
But man, I mean, I tell you what, when it comes to an everyday man just kicking the absolute shit out of Batman, you definitely have to be invisible, because Batman gets his bell like rung pretty well in this freaking episode.
And credit to Ventrix as a bad guy, because the one trick I found, there were two things he does in this scene that I thought was really incredible. Is that one, Batman's smart. He sees the feet in footprints in the concrete. He used the gas bomb to see him. He grabs a paint can and throws the paint on him. But Ventrix is smart enough as an Invisible Man that he's got a setting to where he's prepared to burn stuff off that gets on. Like, no Invisible Man has actually thought about what the hell happens when someone throws like paint on me.
Yeah, I know, because that's a common trope in like Invisible Man type stories is, you throw something on them, and I mean, it's always like the cool effect that they always do, like when you watch like Hollow Man or even the recent Invisible Man, is like, throw something on them. But he's just like, that's okay, and then he just heats it up, and it just basically just burns off all the paint,
which actually makes sense when we learn how the suit works.
Exactly.
We'll save that, but like it's thought through. Like, it's logical that the suit could do that.
Yeah, and I do love, like, right before this when Batman kind of grapples like across the wet paint, and then there's like, again, they put the bat symbol like shadow like across. That was a cool, and of course with the theme and stuff like that. Always good when they incorporate, anytime that Batman's doing some kind of cool swooping, his shadow makes the bat logo. It's like, yes.
Oh, you better.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
and then Ventrix, of course, starts going, "Don't you hate these high ceilings?"
Yeah.
And I mean,
his voice starts echoing everywhere, so Batman can't pinpoint him. I mean, it's a very well crafted scene to outsmart Batman. I mean, it really is. I mean, obviously, yes, he's invisible, but Batman, of course, is using every trick in the book, and Ventrix is just going, "Well, I got tricks myself, and you ain't gonna get me." And then he says like the high, and so like it's all echoing, and then all of a sudden just boom, like Batman just starts getting nailed.
His ass,
fucking nails him, man, and throws him right into like the freaking cement, to the point where it's just Batman just lays there like pretty much almost unconscious, like, and just leaves him right there.
And he has a really great, when you're going to go with Invisible Man jokes, and I actually tweeted this out earlier, when we advertised, but I love when the guy goes, "See you around, Batman. Sorry, you can't say the same." And I'm like, if you're going to go with quippy, like villain quips, that's
good. That's perfect.
And the way he says it is like creepy as hell.
Michael Gross, man.
Oh man, especially since Batman just got his ass kicked and he's covered in wet cement.
And he's laying there in it. Yeah. Man, talk about it.
It's so good.
It's really so good. So he does all that, and then exactly. Too bad you can't see. It was such a great line. I wrote that line down, and then I realized I was like, even earlier when you But yeah, there's like other lines too. I think you actually in DMs you said like a line, and I didn't catch it at first. I was like, oh yeah, that's what he meant. And so then we go back to the apartment of Lloyd, or what is it?
Ventrix.
Ventrix. Yeah, I always like virtuous. What Mojo, I guess you could say. But yeah, we go back to his apartment, and then we find out, that of course Kim is his daughter, and and he's kind of, this is another creepy moment. Another creepy moment of like the antagonist going, kind of talking to himself and kind of, saying what he's not going to lose his daughter and this, that, and this. So it's
I won't let her take you from me.
Exactly.
Like the kid's a possession. As he's like holding, like, because the whole reason he did this was because for some reason Kimmy wants a pearl necklace.
Yeah, I don't. What little? I mean, okay. Yeah, I was kind of. I mean, I guess why not?
Why not? Yeah. No, but at least writing wise, it gave him a legitimate motivation to rob the jewelry convention.
Yes, very true, very true. So yeah, for writing purposes, I guess it does make sense. But yeah, another creep. So you kind of get a sense of what, what's going on with all this, and then we see the mom, Helen, and basically, Lloyd just, he tails her to, she works at a grocery store. She's just like a checker or like a cashier. And then of course it's that whole thing of, hey, I got out, let's try again. He's trying to like get back on her good graces, but of course she not having it.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. It's
That's
basically
pretty much what she is.
Yeah. By the way, before then, I'm sorry, nitpick.
Okay.
But even as a 10-year-old, the fact she was driving a red pickup truck,
that was
a choice. That was a choice, man.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, and I don't know why it's always bothered me since I was 10, but it still bothers me today.
It's a weird, because well, I mean, obviously, when it comes to this world, all the cars look like old style, and it's like that old style red pickup truck.
It's a Ford it's like an old red Ford pickup, and
it's like really, okay, that's what you're okay. What, I mean, if that works for you, but yeah, she drops off Kimmy at school, and then she goes to work, and then when she goes on her break, that's where Lloyd approaches her and just kind of like, he's doing that whole thing like, hey, I'm on parole kind of thing. Let's, he's trying to just really just get back on her good graces. But yeah, like I said, she's just like, she's not having it whatsoever. She put a restraining order on the guy,
which was very subtly in the dialogue. I almost wish that Lloyd hadn't said the restraining order you don't need it, because she says you can do whatever you want as long as you don't do it within 100 feet of me. And I thought that was a really nice line.
Yeah. But of course,
oh, it's a restraining order.
Yeah. But I think they had to like, give the audience, especially since it's technically, it is a kid show. So they had to like put that, even though as kids you're like, what is a restraining
order? I know, right?
Mom, what's a restraining? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you're like, so maybe, they could have just left it at that. Maybe, and that would have been just like, as watching it as adults, we'd have been like, oh, restraining order. We get it. So, but so he does that, and then it's funny too because another little like line too, where it's like Helen, like, well, first off, she's going like to lunch at some kind of cafeteria or whatever, and then he tries to pay for it, and then she says, how many stores did you knock off, or whatever?
How many gas stations?
There you go. So we're getting, what's cool about this exchange is we're getting the backstory on Lloyd and why he went to jail, why he went to prison.
He was not only was he was a criminal, but he was like a 2-bit crook.
Yeah, like, exactly. Robbing gas stations and shit.
Yeah. And obviously, we discover this later on, which once again, the dialogue is everything. Kimmy doesn't know who he is.
Exactly.
So, okay, let me ask you this then. Do you get the sense that Kimmy was born, but she was like a baby, or was Helen just pregnant when Lloyd got sent away?
That's one of the things that I was wondering too, because she really has when it's the reveal, when he reveals it to her later on, she was like, oh, you're a guy, and she doesn't know who he is. So
right, yeah.
That's it's a good question.
They both work. Both work, but
both, either Helen was pregnant, or Kimmy was a baby when he got sent off, and I would say she's probably about 4 or 5, 5, 6.
I would say 5, 6. That's like I'm
So
getting
he's
more
been
like
gone for a bit.
kindergarten, first
Yeah.
grade kind of.
True. Yeah, because dropped her off at school.
Yeah.
Probably about 5 or 6. So he's been gone for good 5 to 6 years. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, like you said, both works.
Yes,
Both works,
exactly.
So I think maybe they realized we don't need to go that far, deep. People get the sense that yes, if he's her father, and she has no idea who she is, she just heard about him from her mom. It really doesn't matter whether it was all that matters is that's her father.
Yeah, that's her father, and he's bad news.
Yeah, he's very bad news, because when we get to that point, I mean, that's also this whole fucking episode is just it's so creepy.
I mean, it's one of those episodes that it was creepy as a kid.
Yeah.
But once again, it's never too late, which I feel like is the most analogous episode at this point. It's never too late. It's one of those episodes that it really doesn't sink in until you're an adult.
Oh yeah.
This you knew was creepy as a kid, but when you're an adult, there's a whole extra layer of creepy that gets added on.
Exactly. So when Helen is not budging, and I mean, it's a whole scene that happens. It's really good. I mean, the exchange right here, when you get in the backstory, you're getting it, and then she's just of course, back to the Invisible Man puns, where she's, I just want you to disappear, and he's just be careful what you wish for.
And it's not cheesy when he says it. It's
he doesn't say, she doesn't hear it. He says it to himself.
Yes.
So God, I mean, it's just all right, God, man, this totally could have just been its own thing without being a Batman story. So, man. So then we cut to the optical research, and Wayne Tech, I guess you could say. And this is where we get introduced finally to Lucius Fox.
Yes,
I
was sitting there, I was just like, oh wow,
Lucius. Yeah,
it's Lucius.
Yeah, finally. I know I didn't catch it at first until because I'm writing notes and I'm watching, and then all of a sudden I didn't didn't think about it, and then Bruce just says Lucius, and I went, oh, sweet, there we go, Lucius, finally, cool.
Which once again, go back to this show. I mean, Lucius Fox wasn't created until the 70s.
Yeah.
But especially with the Nolan trilogy and Morgan Freeman playing him, the character has been popularized. But when I saw Lucius in the Nolan trilogy, I knew who he was because of the animated series. The animated series introduced me to Lucius Fox.
Oh yeah, same here. I mean, that we've talked about it time and time again, which there's just characters that we got introduced to. I mean, yeah, of course there's characters that literally introduced your Harley Quinns and whatnot, but at the same time, when it came to just getting more into Batman, this show really just got us to be hey, we're going to start picking up a lot more comic books and really just diving into this character. And yeah, Lucius Fox, obviously very pivotal to Batman, which, how many more episodes is he? He's not in too many more episodes, but there's one specific episode that he's in, right?
There are episodes where he plays more of a role, and then there are just episodes where he just, kind of appears.
Yeah.
Because we're watching this in production order, and I feel like the first episode that I remember him coming up in was when we get to Riddler with "If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?" Mm-hmm. That was one of the first episodes that I remember him, but he's always just kind of in a scene with Bruce. You get the sense that he's kind of running Wayne Enterprises. But okay, so going back to who the voice is.
Okay. Who's the voice?
Brock Peters.
Brock Peters, who is that?
Okay. I know him really well because if you watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine,
okay. I think
he was Cisco's dad.
I think I know who you're talking about. Let me look him up right
now. Of course, he's had a long career, of course. But
okay, yeah. Another recognizable face, yeah.
Oh yes, I mean, a very accomplished African American actor.
Yeah,
but of course, for my growing up, I'm oh, he's Cisco's dad. That's what comes to mind.
Makes sense. No, he's got a familiar face. I'm not sure exactly what I've seen him in, but yeah, and I see the Star Trek. He's wearing the Star Trek.
Actually, his first major appearance. Actually,
Hmm.
he is
Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
he's Tom Robinson in To Kill a Mockingbird. Yes,
there it is. Yep. Oh, he died in 2005. Wow, interesting. But if you look him up, yeah, he definitely has that. You go, yeah, I've seen him. Definitely have seen him. So, but so Lucius Fox, of course. So then we're here, and this is where we kind of, Bruce is just kind of doing his thing where he's kind of going, he's heard about that there was like an invisibility project that happened, and so we get a little more, we get talked about like there's this plastic, there's this cloak that you can put on. And basically, yeah, they were, Wayne Tech was developing some invisibility technology. Cool.
Well, I think it's also interesting because they're like, well, it really wasn't us. It was like a scientist who like approached us, and then he backed off for some reason.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, because I was watching the episode going, okay, are we really going to go down the road of someone stole something from Wayne Tech, or this is all like Wayne Tech stuff? And it's like, well, no, not technically.
Yeah.
It was like, it was an independent scientist who came to Wayne Tech hoping to get like funding.
Yeah. And it didn't work.
Yeah. It didn't work, we're not talking about a Stark Enterprises thing where like everything is like, his fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like that at all. And then of course, Bruce is like, there's just something that needs to be. So then of course he comes back, but as Batman, rooftop, and then doing that whole thing, sneaking in, and then there's like a worker guy there, just like, I didn't remember exactly what this guy, he was doing something.
What he was doing was, this was the scientist who developed the plastic that the suit is made out of. Okay. This was his lab assistant.
Okay.
What he's doing, and we kind of learned it later on, is that because the plastic.
We lost Scott. Oh no!
Plastic that turns you invisible out in the scene. I'm here.
Sorry, you glitched up. You glitched up a little bit. There.
I saw that I glitched. Yeah.
Yeah.
So since the plastic is toxic, what he's doing is, for disposal purposes, he's putting it in metal canisters.
Yeah.
And he's got a socket wrench and he's bolting the canister shut. Makes sense. Of course, he's being environmentally sound and not wanting the toxicity of the plastic to leak out in the disposal process.
Makes sense. And it's funny too, because like when Batman's sneaking around, and of course he's in the office doing his thing, looking at the files and whatnot, and doing that classic move of holding the flashlight,
which is the most uncomfortable thing. Have you ever held a flashlight in your teeth?
Yeah, it's not. Your saliva starts fucking going, and it's just like it's not great.
Oh, but, I can't stand the taste of the metal. Like
that too.
No.
I know, right?
This is why we're not Batman.
Exactly. They should make specific flavored flashlights for moments like this. Detectives looking at files in dark rooms. No, but then it's funny because when he's walking around, like the worker guy like pushes over a shelf right on Batman. And then when he sees who he is, like, Batman, of course, just sneaks up behind him and he goes, "Oh, it's you." And it's just like, you didn't recognize the cape in the ear.
No, actually, I think that to the assistant's credit, he was behind a shelf. I think he just knew someone was sneaking around in the lab, and he was going to stop him.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll give it that. I just figured, I was like, interesting. But what's interesting about this too is like, and I'm wondering if you got these vibes as well. But after that, when Batman starts questioning him, and then he goes, "No, it wasn't me," because he's suspecting that maybe it was him that's been doing all this stuff, and he has like a total alibi. But then he starts explaining the plastic, how it works and everything. Did you get Batman Begins vibes? Like electric current going through it and blah,
what?
Blah.
I didn't even think about it.
That's what I wrote. When he talked about like doing like the electric current go through it, I was thinking about the cape. when
Yes. No,
Lucius in that,
you're
yeah,
right. I just didn't think.
yeah,
I did not think. I think it
yeah,
was one of those cases where it's like I knew what was coming for the
mhm,
episode, so I wasn't open to the connections.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
dude, you're
yeah, that's
right.
what I got. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah.
I got some Batman Begins vibes on that one. So, yeah, so he tells him that, and then of course he tells him about like how I love how Batman also is like going around like knocking on things and stuff like that. There's like a funny little ding 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 where he's just like kind of knocking on the what he was working on. And oh, we got a super chat here. Thank you, pretty fly for a Filipino guy. How cool would it have been if Bruce perfected the invisibility technology and then applies it to to Terry's suit?
Right, because Terry has that ability in
Yeah,
Batman Beyond.
interesting.
That would have been like such a cool
Connection right there.
thread
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Wait, yeah. Good.
Nice
Yeah. We dealt with it.
call.
Nice call right there.
Yes.
Nice pull right there, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. I love it when we see stuff like that. But so then we get more backstory because this guy, tells him about the plastic is toxic and whatnot, and then he drops the name of Lloyd Ventrix, basically tells him like this person right here, because who was like hired on, who's also like an assistant, right?
More
And
like an errand
yeah,
boy.
oh yeah, that's right. He says errand boy, and then he's like, yeah, he was like an ex-con. I mean, as soon as that happens, I mean, Batman's like, oh,
Ding.
yep, yeah. His pointy ears get even pointier because he realizes, hey, yeah, that's probably what's happening right here. But so then Batman outside of Kimmy and Helen's house, he approaches Helen and just kind of like, because he's figured it all out, traced it to obviously her and whatnot, and just kind of starts asking about her ex-husband. And at the same time, Kimmy's in her room, and so is Lloyd, and he's got the pearl necklace for her and all that stuff. Again, it's just like
It's just
creepy vibes, man.
creepy vibe. Well, you know what gets even creepier is that, of course, I love the fact that Helen puts two and two together and realizes who Mojo is.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I love the fact that they gave Helen like the agency to go, shit.
Yeah. It just totally just rings the bell, and she goes, she goes running into the room, and by this time, Mojo is like, "Hey, come with me," blah blah blah, and then they go.
And this is one of those Shirley Walker moments.
Oh
the
yeah,
music that plays when Helen runs into the room and finds Kimmy gone.
and the window is open.
The window is open.
And she just collapses.
The music is just like the most heart-wrenching, creepy thing ever. I mean, that is just it's like mwah, Shirley. Like whenever we have our mwah Shirley Walker moments, that's one of those
right there.
Yes,
definitely one of them right there. And like I said, and then it's funny because Batman's doing his normal thing, and I found this kind of funny too, where it's like, well, yeah, he looks at the doll and stuff like that, and he's doing his detective thing, but then he just randomly just pulls out his tranquilizer gun dart and just loads it, and I'm like, and then he just goes, and then she goes, "What's that?" And he's just like, a tranquilizer gun, and I was like, "Why'd you just pull that out now? Why don't you wait till you're, when you find the guy?" It was just kind of like,
kids.
why load it?
We gotta
yeah.
set it up, because it's not like he's going to explain it when he's shooting it at the Invisible Man guy. We had to set it up now.
It was just kind of funny that he just randomly just loads it up in the room, and I'm like, you can just wait. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. This is the Chekhov's gun. Like, we got to show the gun so that we're ready to fire it later on. It's
definitely that. Definitely that. I kind of laughed. I'm like, because then it just literally cuts to where Lloyd and Kimmy are, and
that creepy abandoned drive-through.
Yes.
No, the drive-in. It's a drive-in, but it's
drive-in.
Abandoned and it's dilapidated.
And then there's just, like, get in the car, and then she's just like, well, how are you going to drive? Nobody's going to see a driver. Smart girl. Oh my God. I mean,
Kimmy is great, because it's like, even then she's like, don't get in a car with strangers. Like, I'm like, good job, Kimmy. That's, and I like it because we've joked about how episodes with little kids have those little kid messages.
Yeah.
But this one, didn't feel like a G.I. Joe, now you know, and knowing is half the battle kind of PSA. It felt very natural. She's like, Mojo, this is weird. I
Yeah.
don't feel good about this. And
Yeah.
I liked how once again, like the humor I talked about earlier, kind of putting in that don't get in a car with strangers message. It just seems so organic in the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, because he, when first, like she said, she goes, how is, no one's gonna know that anybody's driving, and then he reveals, he takes off the at least the head cover or whatever, and that's when she goes like, oh, you're a guy, and then she goes, my mommy said not to get in cars with strangers or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, yeah, good lesson right there, just right there, and it works with the whole scene and everything, because now she's like officially creeped out. And then he, basically just goes like, yeah, I'm your father kind of thing. And then
she's like, fuck no.
No.
Mommy said no to daddy. So
yes.
No.
Yes, that's even worse. You did not help your cause there, Lloyd. Not at all. Yeah. And then and then of course, Batman. Cool shot, by the way. Not in this lifetime, pal. And then it's just like him up on, I guess, the screen, right? And then
on the
see like the cape fluttering and stuff like that, and it was pretty cool. And then when it and then what was creepy, what was interesting too, is like when he like kicks him around, and it's basically just a floating head.
The animation in this episode is so. I mean, I didn't pay attention whether this is like. No, we talked about how Heart of Ice broke Spectrum, and like they had to reorganize. But this animation, well, maybe just a step down, only because of color and painting and all of that. But like this is one of those like Spectrum level, like this is one of the good episodes.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And yeah, when it starts off like that, I mean, it was just kind of funny. I was like, oh yeah, it's just like a floating head that's getting tossed around, which was kind of cool. But then you get to the point where he gets in the car, and I mean, I guess with this technology, it's like stuff that he could touch, because his briefcase was also at one. It's like when he held on.
If you think about it, if all it is this plastic, all he's got to do is like layer the plastic and then send an electrical charge through it.
Yeah,
so probably wrap the car.
In
the plastic.
Wrap the car, yeah. So then he gets in that, and then of course this is a cool scene too, because it's like now you're dealing with an invisible car, and of course Kimmy finds her mom, which is great. She's running off, finds her, and they reunite. But then we got Batman just trying to dodge an invisible car, and Batman's running pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, I know. That was a little
well,
that was a little uncanny valley there for me. Like how fast Batman's running.
But it's very suspenseful, and this is the the
clip.
Yes, this is the clip that I wanted, because the score, of course, all beautiful. Everything's so beautiful about it. So let's go ahead and watch this right here, because it's pretty intense. See, he's booking it, man. Look at that. And then he gets on top of it, and then it looks like he's flying. It's great.
I love the fact that the bums make a comment about, like, he can fly, too. There it is, bums.
I didn't know he could fly, too.
I love it.
I mean, he's got to be borderline almost pissing himself right here. Jeez. It's just so intense.
I know.
Look at that. It's just Batman. What's in it? That's all it is. Takes off the door right here.
I know.
Oh
yeah, blows the gas station.
Of course.
Little BVS reference. We can
a little bit. And then he starts punching.
It'll destroy you. Don't hand me that. I'm not feeling any pain, at least not like you're gonna feel.
Oh man, I knew I recognized that voice. Michael Gross. And then he's just running into all kinds of things.
And see that's cool, because all the trash hitting the car, it would be ripping the plastic.
Exactly. And then they get on the train tracks, and then
by the way, listen to this.
Huh.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
Listen to that part again.
Okay.
How long has it been since you've seen Beauty and the Beast?
Forever.
Okay. I dare you to listen to that part and not hear through the woods. Dun 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 dun. It's Kill the Beast.
Oh man,
It really is. It sounds like Kill the
didn't put
Beast.
that together. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Beauty and the Beast, but very intense moment right there. And like I said, the score. I mean, yeah, but I didn't put that together.
So on point. If it wasn't for the fact that it had the same like chord progression of like Kill the Beast, I would have been like, dude, that was amazing. But no, I was watching it today, and that didn't even hit me until today. I was just like, through the woods, dun, 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 dun. And I just had like the marching pitchfork, the pitchforks and torches in my head. I was just like, this is not what I should be thinking about when I'm watching a Batman the Animated Series episode. But okay,
thinking about Beauty and the Beast. But what's interesting too is like when he's running into things, the car starts reappearing.
Right, and I love that because only after he's run through trash. And so if we go back to my theory that's covered in the plastic, it's got to be ripping. It's tearing, and then the car can reveal itself.
There it is. Yeah. So it's interesting. But very intense moment. And then of course Lloyd just bails. He just gets off, he gets out of there. And then Batman, of course, grappling hooks off the car before he meets his demise on the train. And I love the fact that when Batman like swoops onto a rooftop, he like takes out that door that leads up to it from the building, that little he just takes it out. Like it's made of wood and he just powers right through, just and I'm like, damn, Batman really gets his ass like
handed to him in this episode.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Alfred's got to be like tending to him big time when it comes to this episode. But yeah, they're on the rooftop. And there's a water tower, of course, because there's a lot of water towers in Gotham. Wouldn't you say? A lot of water towers.
Well, yes, a lot of water towers. Yeah,
convenient ones.
Yes, very convenient ones. But now I do not remember if we've seen them before, but this is definitely one of the most pronounced. Like, I think this is the first time we actually get to see the bat shurikens.
Yeah.
Because there's not the batarangs.
Yeah, these are like ninja star kind of.
These are ninja stars. Yeah, exactly. Which are more like what Nolan made the batarangs.
Yes, he made the batarangs
in the Dark Knight trilogy.
They're not big, So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Which this guy's holding right there. That's a big batarang right there. But yeah, he throws like 3, and you're kind of wondering where is he throwing them, and then it's like he's not throwing it at Lloyd. He's throwing it at the water tower to spill water. Again, a common trope when it comes to Invisible Man.
That's a lot like Hollow Man.
Yes. When they had the sprinkler system going on and stuff like that. Yeah. Great movie, by the way. Underrated. I mean, like maybe it's not underrated because I hate when people say overused, underrated. I don't know why I even said that because I think a lot of people actually do talk about that movie. But really, when it came to the evolution of the Invisible Man type story, Hollow Man was like pretty amazing. I like
it. And this is another time where this was a very organic. I like the way like Batman does a quip that doesn't feel quippy because like the water pours down and like the suit starts to fritz and Lloyd's like, no. And then Batman just goes, peekaboo. And then just boom, right hook to the face, man.
Batman wanted to do that so badly because of how many times he got his ass handed to him in this story. He's like, I bet you he was just like, I cannot wait to punch this motherfucker right in the fucking face. So when he got that opportunity, he nailed him.
Oh, no, did he nail him? He then beats the sucker into the ground.
Yes.
I mean,
he hands it to him.
Oh, it's a little gratifying. Gratifying.
Because even before this, when he was still invisible, Batman was getting his ass handed to him again. Right after he crashed into the little wooden shack thing that leads up to the rooftop. But yeah, all of a sudden it's just again. So then once he finally gets the opportunity to like throw some punches and whatever, he does not hold back.
Okay. Plus the fact that this is another episode that really reinforces the idea that you do not screw with kids when it comes to Batman.
No. Yeah. Like when we what was the episode? The
Underdwellers.
Underdwellers. I was like the Outlanders. I couldn't remember. But yeah, it's like you get that vibe when he was like, so like, I'm holding back. I could kill you, but I have, I have a moral compass. I have a code, it's like one of those kind of things. Cause when it comes to kids and Batman, I mean, it's like that. And then of course he does have another quip too, where he goes like,
Okay, this
He's
is the one I
on-
complain. This is the one I'm going to
Yeah.
complain about. This is the one that does
Yeah.
not work. No,
It's
not
like,
at
oh,
all.
you had to fit one more in there. You had to fit one more in there where he talks about a disappearing for
Your biggest disappearing act. No one will see you for 10 to 20. I'm like, nope, sorry, nope.
You're like,
That one went a bridge too far. That was a bridge too far.
One too many there, bats. One too many. Yeah, I know. I kind of laughed too. I chuckled. I was like, all right, Batman. we got it. We got it. Good job, sir. So, and then of course we're back with Kimmy in her room, and she's talking kind of like, similar how she was talking to Mojo. But this time when Helen comes in, her mom, she goes like, who are you talking to? She's kind of more like, hey, wait, who are you talking to?
She's much more concerned, which is good.
But then of course Kimmy goes, oh, I was just talking to Batman. And then Helen is like, oh yeah, Batman. Okay, sure. But then of course, cool little pan from outside the window on up. Sure enough, there's Batman on the rooftop.
Which is
similar to the,
which is not, and that's like, that kind of reminds you of the end of I've got Batman in my basement.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, kind of has that. And again, it fits in the fact that yes, this is a kid's show, and yes, that anytime you fuck with kids, Batman is gonna just. But at the same time, it's like when the story's done, it's not like he just goes, "All right, I took care of that." He literally goes and visits these kids, make sure they're good, make sure they're all right, and I like that. I like the fact that he's doing that.
Yeah,
might be a little weird for the neighbors when they're looking outside, like. Helen, or no, not Helen, but Mary, what the? Did you look? Batman's up. What? Did you see that? Yeah. I mean, they're probably like, what the hell?
Oh my God. You just gave me like a total image of like the woman, like the curlers and the road.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. Frank. Yeah. Just yelling out the window, like, hey, did you see? And then, of course, when Frank shows up and like Batman's
gone. Yeah.
Why are you bugging me, old woman? Jesus Christ. I'm watching my news. Ugh, yeah, probably something like that. But yeah, that's where the episode ends. And yeah, like I said, another great one, man. I mean, this. I mean, I'm going to use
underrated.
Yeah, this is for sure because I forgot about it when we talked about it the last time, and then I remembered, okay, yeah, this, and this. But then watching it now, I'm going, geez, yeah. Pretty intense.
It's another one of those episodes that I just want to go, people, go back and look at some of these early episodes. There are some gems in here that you have forgotten about. And this is, but I didn't, like, I have always, like, this is another one that's like, whenever this one was in reruns, I watched this one as a kid.
Yeah.
Like it grabbed me. It captivated me as a child.
Yeah, because it's got the invisibility thing too, which is it's always cool. That's always
cool.
Yeah, everybody always wanted to have that, and but then at the same time, I mean, and like again, watching it as an adult, and you see like you understand like the whole
the dynamics
of it, and the fact that, like you said, it's like the kid is
it's a custody battle
kind of thing, and it's just like, man, you watch it now, and yeah, it's got some pretty intense subjects in here, but man. Tell you what, but anything else you want to add to the episode?
I think we did I mean,
yeah,
we put it all out there. Like
we put it all out there. Yes. If only wasn't that last little quip.
I know, right?
It's like, damn. Oh, that's where you just too much. And it's like they had to add just that last one, but it's okay. It's still a great episode, but man.
Next week.
Beware of the gray ghost. Oh man!
Oh my God! Who does not love
Adam West coming in to voice Simon West? Right? Simon, what's his name? Simon
Temple. I think Simon Temple or
something like that. Why did I think West?
Well, you thought they were being a little too
close to the nose. Yeah, that's Adam West.
Simon Templeton. Simon Templeton. That was his name. Yeah.
Why would they put West at the end? No, but yeah, that next week is going to be a great episode. Beware the Gray Ghost is the next one we'll be covering next week. And yeah, I mean, if that's not in your top 5, wait,
Simon Trent. That's right.
Simon
yes.
Okay,
Simon Trent. I knew it started with a T. Yes. Simon Trent is the actor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So yeah, we got Beware the Gray Ghost, which
this one might be an underrated gem,
Yeah.
Beware the Gray Ghost is one that we all just kind of
everybody collectively just goes, oh yeah, when you think of this series, this is up there. You think of Beware the Gray Ghost, and man, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I mean, it's just one of those where I could hear the sound of the remote control race cars, all that stuff, and just even like the theme song when Bruce walked. Yeah, it's just one of those episodes that really.
And Shirley Walker gets to like go like balls to the wall as far as dun 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 dun. Like I even know the Gray Ghost theme like in my head.
It lives there, man. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great episode. So yes, make sure you join us, watch the episode. We'll be of course here at the same bat time, same bat channel. So make sure you watch all that, and we appreciate you guys clicking in for this one for See No Evil. Great episode, and go ahead, Scott. Since you didn't get to send off last night.
I know, children. Children. But of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Film Squadcast, wherever a podcast can be found, because we are 2 weeks away from our 6-year anniversary. Ooh. Of course, we're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube. You can find the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. I'm here every Saturday with this knucklehead over here talking about Batman. And I know we keep on pushing it. Meg's got a busy life. She's got a new job. She's
working a lot.
She's working a lot. It's like almost on a daily basis. We're like, so when we're recording, we're going to be bringing back chapter by chapter by Dune. It's happening. We keep on kicking the can because, life happens, guys. And yeah, she's been working a lot, and, thankfully she has a great job. She works at a comic book store. I mean, if she's living the dream.
If she, they want to ask her to pull more shifts, she's gonna be like, okay, yeah, of course, 100%. So yeah, so I totally get it. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash that like, thumbs up before you leave, and then subscribe, join if you want to become a member. Patreon's down there, merchandise is also down there, and soon we'll have some Batman the Fan-imated stream shirts in there, so look forward to that. And like I said, we'll see you guys next week. Beware of the Gray Ghost. It's gonna be great. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.